It's often said that Bermuda is another world, and it truly is. 21 square miles, Bermuda is one of the smallest territories in the world. World-class hotels and restaurants, exquisite pink sand beaches, and more golf courses than fast food outlets add to the charm of Bermuda. But Bermuda is not just an idyllic vacation destination. It's an international focal point for financial services. Throughout history, the Bermuda government and the Bermuda business community have worked together seamlessly to create a place that combines appropriate regulation, intellectual talent, state-of-the-art infrastructure, and capital to attract and grow business. Currently under the government of the Progressive Labour Party, Bermuda has fast become a land of equal opportunity for all, based on principles of fairness, equity, accountability, and full democratic participation. This vision has been the PLP's overarching philosophical framework from inception. Deputy Premier and Minister of Public Works, the Honourable Derek V. Burgess, was elected Deputy Leader of the Progressive Labour Party and Deputy Premier of Bermuda on the 28th of October 2010, immediately following the election of the Honourable Paula A. Cox as Premier of Bermuda. 4 days later, he was named Minister of Public Works.
The Ministry of Public Works is responsible for the entire infrastructure of the country. Highways, roads, water, sewage, buildings, you name it, we're in charge of it.
As Deputy Premier and Minister of Public Works, the Honourable Derek V. Burgess is now totally immersed in the affairs of the large, exciting and diverse Ministry of Public Works, which provides substantial services to both the government itself and to the public. He is fully committed to ensuring that the components of government's infrastructure, its roads, bridges, national parks, golf courses, water treatment and supply system and waste management system, all of critical importance to the ongoing success of Bermuda, are maintained at the highest possible level.
We have to resurface the roads every now and then because we haven't had any new roads in over 30 years, and we probably won't get any because of the size of the country. We don't have any land. So our roads are in constant use, and we have to maintain them more so than other countries where we have to resurface every so many years. We normally used to do them every 20 years, but even that time period has to decrease, and sometimes I guess a lot of roads we have to do even more often, maybe every 7 years because of the traffic.
Additionally, he serves as acting Premier during the Premier's absence from Bermuda. Minister Burgess is committed to the ongoing development of projects that contribute to the ongoing sustainability of Bermuda. Waste management collects garbage and recyclables from residents. Garbage is taken to the Tynes Bay Waste-to-Energy facility, and recyclables are taken to the Material Recovery Facility for processing and either shipping abroad or use on island. The Tynes Bay Waste-to-Energy system processes all the municipal solid waste. The plant processes on average 65,000 metric tonnes per year. Refuse is delivered to the plant and dumped into the refuse bunker by trucks. A large mechanical grab picks up the refuse and feeds it into one of 2 incineration streams. The refuse is combusted and a heat recovery boiler absorbs the heat from combustion. The boiler produces high-pressure steam which drives a steam turbine and produces electricity. The plant powers itself in addition to a seawater reverse osmosis plant next door. Any excess power is exported to the local power grid.
That one is ongoing, very exciting, because what we do, we burn our trash, we have incinerators, and we also make energy from it. We sell energy to the electric company. We also use some of that energy to run our infrastructure down at the Tynes Bay Waste-to-Energy facility. And also in that same facility, we have the RO plant. Right now, we just connected our second phase where we can produce 1 million gallons of water per day, in addition to the other outlets we have around the island.
The plant exports around 15 million kilowatt hours of electricity each year, or about enough to power 1,300 homes. Ash from combustion goes through a material recovery process where ferrous and non-ferrous metals are removed. The ash is then mixed with cement and formed into metre-cube blocks where they are used as shore protection at the airport waste management facility. The Tynes Bay reverse osmosis plant uses power produced by the Tynes Bay waste-to-energy facility. Seawater wells extra water from below sea level and go through a series of pre-screening to remove large debris before entering one of the 2 reverse osmosis trains. The water is pumped to very high pressure and forced through specialized membranes to separate the salts from fresh water. The fresh water is then treated with chlorine to remove any harmful bacteria and tested before being pumped into a distribution reservoir for supply to the public.
Well, we're so far out in the ocean by itself. Just about everything that we use, we import. We have to depend on rain from the skies for our water, and sometimes we get a dry spell. So the RO plants are very important for the government, for businesses, and you'll find even some of the hotels have their own RO plants. Even some homes right now have their own RO plants. So water is a very important commodity to us, and we try to conserve water, not during season, but every day we try to conserve water.
Recycling is a relatively new concept for Bermudians. The Ministry of Public Works is putting a real emphasis into this area to encourage all homes to separate recyclables from general household waste. Residents are encouraged to use the blue bags for tag system, whereby tin, aluminium and glass recyclables are saved and collected in blue bags every other week. Minister Burgess has a personal hope that this system only continues to improve and develop.
As the trucks picks up the blue bags, they bring them here at the recycling plant, and that's where they end up, as you can see. Bermudians are not recycling as much as we think they should. We encourage them to recycle, but also we encourage them to rinse out the bottles and the cans and put them in, and they'll be picked up every fortnight. After the process, this is the result. We stack these, as you can see, and we send them off overseas. We get a price for them, and it determines on what the cost is, the selling price or buying price is at the time when we send them off. And we send containers off, I think, in excess of 100 containers a year. See, all the glass that we receive here at the recycling plant is grinded up, as you can see, nice and fine, and it's excellent for using for drainage. Whether you want to use it on a golf course or lawn, you put this down first, then you put the soil on top of it. Great. It wouldn't cost you a dime, you just come down here, we give it away. As you can see, the air-conditioned units that are no more use, what we do with them, they are sent overseas to recycle. You can drop your use or discharge if you want to get rid of these air conditioners off at the Tynes Bay facility or at the airport dump. And we pick them up, we bring them here, and we containerize them and send them overseas. Well, there's been a lot of talk about moving the docks. Right now we have the docks in Hamilton. There are other areas that's been suggested to move them. That's another very expensive project, and I don't see that happening in the next 5 to 7 years, but it's something that we can move and redevelop Hamilton into a more, I would say, more al fresco type dining on that area. Is a lovely area to have down there. And one of the, I guess, impediments right now that we have is getting ships into Hamilton, because right now you see the big large ships that have 3,000 passengers. Now the smaller ships can get into Hamilton, and it makes for a nice background. The tours are right there, the shops are right there, but the smaller ships they're really not many now, and so that's a challenge. So we got to redevelop Hamilton to make it more friendly and make it more exciting for everyone.
The Public Works Quarry Depot is responsible for the purchase, repair and maintenance of vehicles and mechanical equipment for the Ministry of Public Work and other government departments. They also produce asphalt and concrete products for government projects. The quarry's primary function is to manage the distribution and maintenance of 450 vehicles and equipment, as well as operate and maintain government quarry and asphalt plant, the swing bridge and the materials recovery facility.
Well, in fact, we just finished a 19 million plus building, a government building, that we call the Dame Lewis Brown building. I'm very proud of that. And that's where the new police station is, the courts, the magistrates' courts, and also some government office. And that was a project, took us about 3 years. One of the largest projects in the history of the government.
Conservation of Bermuda falls high on the agenda at the Ministry of Works. The primary purpose of the Department of Conservation Services is to conserve Bermuda's ecology, its plants, animals, fish and their critical habitats. The department is responsible for managing the government's field ecology programme, the Bermuda Aquarium, Museum and Zoo, government nature reserves, agriculture, vegetable and bees, and maritime heritage. The department is unique within government. It works in a dynamic collaboration using government, charitable and volunteer resources. Specialists from the Conservation Unit carry out research and ecology assessment, developing recovery programs, education publications and environmental policy legislation. The Natural History Museum and Library act as a repository for this research, while the Aquarium and Zoo operates as its very successful environmental education and visitor outreach vehicle. The Department of Parks is tasked with the responsibility of managing and administering the national park system for Bermuda. The protected areas are managed in a manner that protects, maintains and enhances the natural and historic values of the protected areas for the use and enjoyment of present and future generations.